Hello, Pisces. My name is Tiffany from Tiffany's Tarology, and it's so good to be here with all of you today. It is time to get our grind back on, Pisces. We are here on a Sunday, and today we're going to be using the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, which I have never used before, even I think for myself as a personal. I felt called to it. It's a Sunday. We also will be using the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot. So the radiant sun and the radiant wise spirit, there's something about you becoming more radiant, more beautiful, more visible. I also think there are things in your life that are becoming more visible to you that have been hidden. A lot of us have been in this waiting game for some time, and I think we are finally getting to the point where things are going to start revealing themselves. The moon is in Libra. The new moon is coming up on the 21st, which is Tuesday. But you're probably feeling some effects of that. Libra is in the 8th house of Pisces, and this is focusing on intimacy, resources, death and rebirth, taboo topics, inheritances. It's a really expansive, I want to call it an entangled house. So a lot could be coming up with you and your partner about money, could be coming up about intimacy. There could be issues coming up around something you haven't wanted to face, something taboo. There could also be conversations about death and rebirth and what that looks like in your life. And maybe you feel that something is being illuminated in your life that needs a big change. So we're going to dive in, Pisces. Happy spooky season. I do have on my bracelets here today from Otter Spirit. This is their Pisces Strength bracelet set. I do have a coupon code for 20% off that's always listed in my bio. If you're interested, check that out, as well as if you would like to book with me, link in the description box. And we can go ahead and dive right in, Pisces. Let's see what's coming in for you today. We have manipulation, independence, detachment, practicality, concentration, patience, lust, idealism, versatility, seduction. And on the bottom of your deck, you have romance, caution, and influence. So definitely Pisces. As I was discussing earlier, there is an energy here that is pretty prevalent throughout these cards about something going on in intimacy for you. Intimacy can look different for absolutely everybody. Some of you may be struggling with lust, or you may be in a relationship with someone who struggles with lust. Others of you may have been manipulated by a person in a relationship when it comes to maybe being seduced. And I feel you've become quite detached from intimacy by what I'm seeing here. So I'm going to pull the cards up. When I first saw this kind of pharaoh-like structure here with the manipulation card, immediately I thought of past life influence. And you don't necessarily have to have had a past life in Egypt, but that could be significant, especially if you've done a past life regression, you feel called to that area. Maybe you even have Egyptian ancestry in this lifetime, or you just highly resonate with the culture and the ancient text, hieroglyphics, things like that. There's something about a past life, again, especially if you had one in Egypt, where there was some type of manipulation of power. There could have been a person who was like a seductress or a seducer, someone who used love in a very manipulative way. Maybe you were someone who got married for money. Maybe you're kind of experiencing that again in this lifetime that's coming through. Maybe you were also used for your body and not necessarily loved by your person in the right way. There was a seductive quality about the person that you have been in cahoots with or were in cahoots with. And what you have come to understand is that it was taking away from the relationship. It was taking away from the actual romantic aspect of the relationship, because this person was dealing with lust. They craved, I want to say, taboo things. And we're going to go there, right? So they could have been watching things online, had corn addictions, things like that. And you started to notice that their concentration maybe was no longer on you, but maybe on what you brought to the table as far as your physicality. I feel like a relationship where there could have been a loss of someone seeing you for your soul, and instead they saw you for what they could have from you. So let's say this wasn't a person who necessarily was going after you in a physical romantic way. Maybe there was a lust for what you had. Maybe you were very well off. And you've been dealing with someone who has been taking from you financially. Because again, that 8th house energy with Libra does deal with like inheritances and taxes and things like that. And I can feel this energy that you may have held some type of wealth or received an inheritance or came into some money. Maybe you were born into money in this lifetime and you have something waiting for you. Maybe you own a property. But I feel like there was a person who wanted that from you. They saw the relationship in more of a practical way, as this is a ticket to my freedom. This is a ticket to my level up, or this is a ticket to me fulfilling my desires sexually and lustfully. For those of you where this is more about a lust relationship. I feel like this person that you were dealing with had a very idealistic view of what relationships were supposed to be about, and they haven't been able to actually see the depth of relationships and the meaningfulness of them. I feel like this person may have had traumas in their childhood that maybe pushed them into more of a narcissistic path. A lot of Pisces have been in this empath narcissistic loop that many readers on YouTube I have seen are talking about. And these types of people can sometimes get into relationships and into business partnerships and into cahoots with family for reasons of transaction. And those relationships become very transactional. You become a part of their plan. So Pisces, you've been very patient and versatile in trying to work with this person, showing up in a very feminine energy, trying to make sure that things get done successfully. You show a beautiful sense of independence. I can see here, these stones almost look like people bowing down to this beautiful work of art. And I feel as though you have this glow about you, this stature about you, this it factor. You radiate. Again, the Radiant Sun Oracle, the Radiant Wise Tarot, that's what we're using today. And I think this person saw, wow, they have so much going for them. I am going to seduce them. And I am going to get into their pockets or into their pants or into their business. As far as like a job type of business. And I am going to make it seem like it's love, but really it's lust and it's a desire for what they have. And so over time, Pisces, I see that you began to see the manipulation for what it was. And now you stand here detached. And in a way, when I look at these two figures, it's almost like you've taken the mask off of the person who came to you in this manipulative way. And you now see them for who they are, and you've become very detached from the situation. I see you looking from the outside in, and now asking yourself, how did I get here? How did I allow someone or something to manipulate me to the point where they've taken my money, where they've taken my body, where they have affected my independence? And Spirit says, be cautious. Caution came up yesterday as well in our reading. And if you haven't seen the reading from yesterday, it was really powerful. I recommend you go see it. But it was talking about the gig is up, the blindfold is off. And so there's some of that energy bleeding through today. The person that you've been dealing with has been influenced by, I feel like, a lot of earthly desires, lustful energy, low vibrational energy. I'm thinking like, incubus, succubus energies. They have been living definitely at the level of the root and not really going into the upper chakras. They haven't done the soul work. And Spirit is saying, be cautious of this influence that is in your life, because you two are not cut from the same cloth. You are very different. This person, Pisces, saw you in a lot, like they saw you as like a prize, but not necessarily in the right way. Like, it was very self-fulfilling. That's the best way that I can explain this. But when I look at this lust card here, I see this volcano erupting, and I do feel that same energy from yesterday where we said the gig is up. There is a tower moment that's occurring. This full moon is exposing that situation. There is finally something coming from beneath the surface, or maybe a conversation or a realization. I'm feeling like epiphany energy from you where you finally get it. Or maybe you felt like exploding with rage or anger because of something that you found out. Because volcanoes are very explosive and they're full of power. And once they explode, it's like this steam and this power and this destruction that comes with it. But again, because you've been so patient with this person, I think that for a long time you tried to play it off like everything was okay. This woman here is very well clothed and modest. And I do think that for a long time, again, you tried to be very versatile in this relationship. You tried to be very practical in this relationship. You were trying to build in this relationship, but this person was not focusing on the truth. These lips are what they were focusing on. What can you give them? What can you say to them? How can you stroke their ego? How can you help them live out a life that they desire? Very selfish energy here. But again, with this new moon here, I see that there's, you're going to be calling their bluff. I'm seeing the bluff here card. You're going to be calling their bluff. You're going to let them know, I see through you. I finally understand it. Something that was illuminated to you finally helped you see the truth of this person. And instead of them being romantically or in a loving way involved with you, you now understand, oh, there was some covert, narcissism, maybe some gaslighting going on. Maybe there was something happening behind closed doors that you didn't see before. Maybe you started to notice that your accounts were getting depleted and all of a sudden this person wasn't returning phone calls and things like that. So you see the truth. And again, I'm wearing the strength bracelet today because I think, Pisces, you need to have some strength as you go through this process of uncovering the truth of someone that was very close to you, very intimately close to you. Could have been a family member, could have been a romantic partner, a very close business partner, someone that you had entrusted a lot of your soul into, and they had a lot of negative influences, especially from mainstream media. Friends of theirs, could have been other business colleagues, family even could have been telling them, hey, this is how you should approach this relationship. Keep things transactional, keep things at the surface. I really am feeling this energy that whoever they've been getting advice from, that person has a lot of growing to do. So how much good advice can you get from someone who also is not necessarily living their life to the standards that you are, Pisces? So they may be feeling like they're getting good advice, but it's leading them in the wrong direction. So current situation for Pisces with this love relationship, this partnership that's being affected by this Libra moon, the exposure, right away, the devil comes out. Pisces is the first cards. So you have the devil and the 8 of Swords, and you have the 6 of Wands and the Queen of Wands. And I feel these two energies are separate. The cards kind of fell in two piles. So Pisces, whoever this was, or is, I should say, in your life, they have really been keeping you in a toxic loop, keeping you entrapped. And I feel like for many of you for a long time, hidden to the true nature of who they were. I don't feel that you even realized that you couldn't see the truth of this person until something came out, that volcanic eruption, that exposure. Maybe something literally over the last couple of days was exposed, that there was something untrue or something down low or shady about what a person had done. And now you're starting to realize, wow, this is why everything has been happening this way. This is why my life has been kind of in shambles, because there's this energy here that has been keeping you stuck in a toxic cycle, a codependent relationship, and using you. I do feel like this person has been using you. They came into a lot of success, and Queen of Wands came in reverse yesterday. Here she is coming in the upright today. This person came into a lot of success because of who you are. Remember I told you that statue-like figure? It was giving me the 6 of Wands vibe. So with independence, you're a very independent person. There's something about you that is very enigmatic and attractive and radiant to the outside world, right? And that's what's represented here by the Six of Wands. Someone in the background, there's all these people who are praising you for coming in on your white horse. You successfully completed something in your life. You are known for something. Maybe you just have always kind of found success in whatever you do, Pisces. A lot of us are very blessed and we do a lot of different things and we take care of ourselves. So this person comes in and says, well, I see the success that you have. I want some of that. Maybe you were a meal ticket to this person. Maybe you were a ticket to a higher level of life for this person. And then little you riding in on your horse didn't know that you were actually riding into a trap and became ensnared in the trap of this toxic, fiery energy. Again, someone who I think also has a lot of power, but without you, they don't shine as brightly. And it's very seductive and it's very manipulative. And for some time, Pisces, you didn't even know. But again, some type of secret was exposed with the High Priestess here to the Knight of Swords. A message came to you. You saw a message. You maybe found something out and then came to them with this fiery energy, this explosive energy of the Knight of Swords. And now I feel like God is letting you know you were their Nine of Cups. You were their wish fulfillment. You were pouring into them so much to the point where you lost yourself, and now justice is being restored and is going to help you finally blow the trumpet on this person who is now probably feeling very upset that they have been found out. Boundaries all the way up, Pisces, and whatever the situation is. Again, this new moon in Libra is the Justice card. It rules the Justice card. Libra is going to bring in balance. And for some of you, you will walk away from this relationship. For others of you, things will have to be set straight. So there's either going to be an ending, a new beginning, or some type of transition within a relationship for you, Pisces. Again, does not have to be romantic, but it definitely can be. Challenge at this time. Even though I feel like your current situation is a challenge. Page of Cups. I think the challenge here has been your naivety. As much as I hate to say that, you have such a childlike wonder about you, almost this innocence where you didn't even realize at times how much people maybe were taking you for granted or using you for what you've got. You had these resources, you were willing to go into the situation because maybe you're like, wow, this opportunity just came out of nowhere. And you gave of your cup, this cup of potential and this imaginative, very intuitive energy that you have here, Pisces. But I feel like what's happening is you're realizing that innocent, naive side of you has actually gotten you into maybe a situation where you have bit off more than you can chew. And now, although you're sitting in like this very beautiful, independent Empress energy, I feel that someone has really come in to try to take you away from this, or they don't value this aspect about you, but this is how you show up in the world. And the way that they show up in the world is a person who wants to take, who's maybe inward, and I feel this energy of control. And they want the stability, they want the notoriety. You bring in all the love and joy, and they bring in the structure and stability, and you weren't even seeing that it was covert manipulation. Strengths at this time for Pisces. Interesting reading. You have the Four of Swords. Right now, I think you've come to the realization of this. I'm sure you are feeling this energy because with new moons and full moons, a lot of the energy is felt 3 days before, 3 days after. So we are in that bubble. And I think the strength here is you are like, you know what? I'm going to pray. And I'm going to ask God to send me a sign. I'm going to ask, my angels and my guides to help me see through what is going on. And I don't see you being quick to make decisions or quick to believe a story or jump back into a situation. I see you pulling out, maybe going through a little bit of a mental health break because you've needed some time to kind of chill out and sit with the fact that there has been a lot that has been happening underneath you. And I can't help but see that kind of at the bottom of the deck here, this tower is coming out. And so I do feel like many of you are having a tower moment right now where something that was hidden, something that you can no longer deny is being exposed, and it's not making you feel great, and it's definitely not making the other person feel great. You're having to have uncomfortable conversations, and that's what the 8th house is all about. It's the things you don't necessarily want to air out. It's the things you might keep private. And it's the area of the chart that is very vulnerable. When I was looking into 8th house energy last night, people who have North Node in the 8th house, they are here to learn to be vulnerable to other people and maybe to, receive assistance from other people in their life and learn that it is okay to be intimate and it is okay to open your heart, and to face difficulties. So there's a judgment call being called on somebody. Yeah, look at this. I can't make it up, Pisces. A relationship in your life is going through a massive judgment call, and justice is on your side. There is something that is happening here at the level of this relationship that cannot be denied any longer. And there has to be some type of restitution, resolution, change, dissolution. Something has to happen here. But you're taking your time, and I think that's the best way to approach it. Area of focus. You have the Page of Swords. So Spirit is saying, do your due diligence. Ask all the questions, get the facts. Maybe this is you actually going, so I saw such and such and such in my bank account and it doesn't make sense. Or I need to talk to you about what's been going on in our intimate life. Or we need to have a serious conversation about our finances. Maybe you need to have a conversation with your parents about wills and about inheritances. I see you getting to the bottom of something, Pisces, and being very withdrawn. So you are going to take that time to figure out what you need to do. But in the meantime, this naivety, this kind of energy that you used to have where you would just bring your cup in, you're like, I'm not going to do that in this situation anymore. I see something that I didn't see before. And now let's make it plain. Let's get to the bottom of it. Let's get to the truth. Near future for this situation for Pisces, what's coming in for them? I see you not being sure. With the 7 of Pentacles, I see you, again, waiting, being patient, pausing, reflecting, asking yourself if what you invested in, a person, a business, a literal investment, because it can rule like our properties and things like that, is it going to be worth it for you to continue to move forward in the way that you have with this person? So I do see a lot of messages and communication going back and forth. You might be doing a lot of research, but you're definitely disconnected from this energy. There's a space between the two of you that I feel, or between you and the situation, where you are in reflection mode. You are no longer going to sit here. This is you being like, you're no longer going to sit here and be manipulated. This is you being detached. Let's read that card really quick. Always timestamps if you want to skip over this portion. Oh my gosh, you guys, the book is a little bit expansive. I've not used this before, but just bear with me, okay? This is going to be especially important for those of you who may have a Venus in Aquarius. You may have a Venus placement in Aquarius, in any part of your chart, doesn't matter exactly where, that makes you feel a little bit detached in love and more analytical of love. But it says personal. It says basically Aquarius Venus people like to be friendly with everyone, but not too friendly. Not the most stable of partners, if nevertheless they find a stimulating and sociable relationship that allows them adequate freedom, and not too traditional a way, they will stick with it tenaciously. Plenty of intellectual stimulation is important for this planet, sign, and personality. They dislike jealousy and overpossessiveness and soon tire of romantic partners who seek to encroach on their social freedom. Their taste inclines towards the unusual, with innovative art taking pride of place. Sexually, they can in some cases be somewhat eccentric and promiscuous. Many of the acquaintances, friends, and loved ones of Venus Aquarians will be creative and artistic. In long-term partnerships, they are more likely to marry someone who has been a good friend for quite a while. In fact, friends becoming lovers and lovers becoming friends fit easily with their unconventional social attitude. People with this aspect flourish in group activities, especially where the group concerned is involved with an ideal or a particularly avant-garde philosophy. These are the people who can live quite easily in an ashram or a commune. When this card is drawn in readings, it may indicate a detached feeling with regard to one's relationship. Negatively, it can mean that there is no means of making contact. So what I'm getting from that is, right now, Pisces, you could be detached, but also you may have had a lover or been in a relationship with someone of some sort. Again, could be a transactional relationship, like a business partnership, where they weren't so attached to you as they were attached to what you had. And what did they say? Put it to their head and not their heart, or something like that. I don't necessarily want to give this person a complete benefit of the doubt, but I really do think that this is just how their mind always was. And this is just how they think. And flip and reverse it if this has been you, Pisces, because this could be you, because these cards came out for you. Like maybe you've been detached emotionally in relationships and you've kind of had issues with jealousy and overpossessiveness. But I also think that this person that we've been talking about could have been quite promiscuous, interested in what's new. Air signs in general, I feel like, have always been difficult for me in relationships as a triple water sign. I'm a Pisces rising, Pisces moon, Cancer sun, because they can be a bit aloof, distracted easily, on to the next thing. So I think that whatever happened here, you have now maybe matched that energy, if that's not you that's showing up in that way. And now that you're detached from what's going on in this relationship and you're sifting through the emotions of it all, you really are in a place where you don't know if this relationship is worth it for you. And you don't know if you can trust it. And you definitely are considering parting of ways. So recent past. Six of Swords. So I think in the recent past, maybe the two of you were trying to work to get out of a difficult situation, and maybe you did. But a lot of the times when we have people in our lives who are manipulative, you will detach from that situation and you will go back to a happy medium for a while, but then that person's true colors reemerge. So I see this actually, for whatever reason, as if this is where you were going. And now that we have this attachment style that's very toxic, you're actually headed back into the choppy waters. You're trying to navigate away. Yep, confirmation on the bottom. You're trying to navigate away from this loop, this karmatic loop. Spirit wants to take you higher. Spirit wants to take you further, but you've been stuck. You've been stuck here for a while, but you now see the truth with the Ace of Swords. You now see the truth. Advice? I think you need to see this person for who and what they are. This card also flipped over in the deck. They don't have much to offer you. You offer a lot to them. They've taken from you. They've depleted you of your money, your health, love, your mental state. You have been in a place for a long time where eventually, that manipulation got to the point where it could not be unseen. You definitely didn't expect for this to happen, but I think what happened was your spirit team said, okay, Pisces, you have to wake up now. You have to pay attention to who you are involving in your life. And you have to make better decisions. So they showed it to you loud and clear by whatever this betrayal was, whatever this information was that you found out. That information, or that energy, I should say, came through in yesterday's reading as well. And I think that this is a time in Pisces' life where they've had to get real with the fact that, okay, I can't deny that this person has put a 10th sword in my back. You're moving out of this energy, though, with it being a 10. That cycle is closing, and this new moon is asking for you to stand in your power and say, we have to take on a new opportunity with one another. We have to go a different direction. I'm also seeing someone say you've got to pay up, or, you know, kind of give me my money back, give me what you stole, give me my time back, you know, and you're moving into more of a glow up energy that they're going to have to witness. They're going to have to see this. Some of you are going into singleness. If not, they are going to just witness some type of glow up in your life regardless. And I do think that they're going to suffer for what they did, because karma is definitely part of that justice card energy. Your environment. I really like this reading, Pisces. Very strong. King of Wands. So definitely could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius in your energy. The Queen of Wands came out yesterday. So is this a person who's an entrepreneur, a person who's very attractive, someone who is very alluring, seductive, someone who, I want to say a jack of all trades, master of none. I'm also feeling the energy of maybe a Gemini, even though this isn't an air sign card. But I do think that this person in your energy was trying to take, and is very flashy, cares a lot about what other people think about them. They also could be a person who likes to travel a lot, who chases clout. Maybe they have a difficulty separating the relationship and friendships, which that Venus and Aquarius energy talked about. Like, they will often date people who are friends and then become friends with people they have dated. So there may be this intermixing of that energy where they don't really know how to place relationships properly. And that's what you're dealing with. They may not see or feel the sanctity of relationships in the same way that you do as a water sign. All right. And then we have hopes and fears. Justice. Yeah. It's going to happen, Pisces. Justice has come out again. You are hoping for things to get cleared up, for the situation to be made plain, for the truth to be exposed, for you to receive what is rightfully yours, and you will. Spirit has seen what you've been going through, and you have been carrying the burden of this person, of the situation that they put you in, or whatever has been involved. For some of you, it has really, really targeted your health, if not your physical, your mental. And Spirit says you are about to get back into a place where you are actually really solid in your emotional plane. You are no longer going to be on this topsy-turvy energy where you're being bounced around and moved around. You're no longer going to be swayed by a person who comes in with fleeting promises and gestures that keep you happy for a while. You are seeing through the BS of this relationship. You're finding out secrets about this relationship. You're unraveling them. And again, with the Page of Pentacles here, dealing with this soulmate, you're saying we have to go on a new trajectory. There is no longer this old plan, because I see the truth now of what this relationship actually brought into my life, and I'm not here for it. I do think that you have learned to mirror back that detachment style. But for some of you, maybe it was you, but yeah, they've taught you how to mirror back detached love. And now they're starting to feel it. They're starting to feel what they've been projecting towards you. They're starting to feel that same energy. There's this feeling of Pisces is gone. Pisces is absent. I'm not able to feed off their juice that they supply to me. We did a reading a couple of days ago where it talked about you have this sweet nectar, this medicine that you bring into the world. And a lot of people use and abuse you for that medicine, Pisces, but you are no longer allowing them to use and abuse you. You see it for what it is. And potential outcome. Beautiful message. I see you getting to a place where you're actually going to be respected. I see you standing on business. I'm hearing there was like this meme going around of Justin Bieber when he was on the beach and he was like, I'm clocking or something like that. He's like, I'm standing on business, you know. And he's a Pisces too. He's having to really put down firm boundaries with like paparazzi and people that want to talk about his life like they know what he's been through. I don't know a whole lot about Justin Bieber, but I believe he's the same age as me. I'm 33. I think he's around that age. So coming back to the cards, I think there is an energy here where you are about to show people that they need to respect you, and you will receive that respect in return. There's no doubt about it. There's victory here. You've worked really hard for what you have. You're not going to just let someone steal it from you. You're actually changing the course of your reality. Maybe you're depositing money in different bank accounts. You're seeing through the illusions. And again, you're calling people's bluff. I'm going to pull 3 last cards for you, and we're going to end out this reading, Pisces. Really beautiful. Really beautiful. You have revenge. And I think this is not necessarily you wanting to take revenge of this person, but you realize what they did and it's like off with their head. I am avenging myself for what you did to me. And I think also there is some things being exposed. I may have to pause this video if I do have a card come out that's nude. I forgot. Yeah, this next one is nude. Give me a second. I haven't used it before. Okay. Submission. Oh my God. So they have to submit now. They have to submit to what you want. This is Venus in Pisces. Venus is exalted in Pisces. This relationship where a person was taking from you, they're now going to have to submit to what it is that you want, Pisces. Let me cover up this last card really quick. Okay, sorry about that. There was 4. So you are demanding proper companionship. This person wanted to be toxic. They wanted to be lustful. They wanted to take from you. They were not appreciating you. They took you for granted. They started to feel, I think, too comfortable and started doing things behind your back that were illuminated. And now you are standing here saying, we must come to a mutual agreement on how to run this relationship or we ain't running nothing together anymore. So again, I see someone having to submit to your desires, submit to your, to your letter of the law. There could also be a legal aspect to this going on. And I don't think that you are trying to, again, jump into a revenge energy, but I really do see your spirit team is like getting revenge for you. You are very protected, Pisces, from this situation, from this person. They cannot harm you. And I think that's why whatever was revealed to you was revealed to you under the new moon. And now the new moon says we start something over. Or not even over, we start something brand new. And so some of you, again, move into this situation together. Others move away from it. And yeah, that's what I got for you today, Pisces. Really cool energy. Wishing you all the best in whatever is going on here. But set the record straight, get things together, and I think you're going to be just fine. All right, take care, Pisces, and I'll see you tomorrow with another reading. Bye.